Just tell me. I'll fucking suck your dick, please. I'll do anything. You want me to eat shit? I'll eat your fucking shit. I'll eat your fucking shit. I want to do it.
How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another Rowdy review. We just wrapped up The Boys Season 5, the final season, and I have my thoughts. Everyone has their thoughts. No one is ever happy with the season finale, is my first thought. Except for me. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to say is the cast does a spectacular job of continuing the journey of some of these characters. Of course, we got Carl Urban as Butcher. We got Jack Quaid as Petit Huey. We've got Erin Moriarty as Starlight. The guy who plays Frenchie, I ain't even going to mention his name. I know what his name is, but he's a piece of crap because he was in a certain organization and bragged about the things that he did. So I really couldn't give a rat's ass about Frenchie this season. I was over his character. Kimiko, I forget the actress's name in Mother's Milk, which is Lorenzo. I think his name is Lorenzo. They do such a fantastic job of bringing these characters to life, and the empathy that you feel for them and the fear that you feel for them is real. Although, listen, if you like The Boys comic book, that's fine, right? But The Boys comic book is undebatably terrible. It is tone deaf. It is edgy for the sake of edgy. It is overly, grossly sexual. There is a lot of problems with that comic book, and that's because Garth Ennis hates superheroes. He really wanted to make a comic book just lampooning their whole existence, and he really did that with The Boys. The 60 to 70 something, I think it was 72 issues. I'm not quite sure, but there's spin-offs and all that stuff. But we did come to the end of the comic book, and spoilers for the comic book. Everybody dies except for Huey and Starlight. Everybody. So I am glad that this ending was lighter, more emotional, and we will get into spoilers with the last episode. There was some filler this season, but at the end of these filler episodes, they had things that pushed the plot forward in small ways. Like there was an episode where Firecracker dies. That's a spoiler, but that was a couple weeks ago, where they find out who actually has the V1. That's another spoiler. And we got more Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy. And we do get more into the character. So one of the filler episodes was completely dedicated to Soldier Boy's past. So we learn to empathize more with Soldier Boy, even though he is a racist piece of crap. He's not supposed to be likable. You understand that he is a human and they make mistakes. Despite this godlike power, they're still humans. And that was what this season was really trying to slam home with Homelander. Take everything away. What is Homelander? A sniveling little wimp baby boy who's gotten everything he wanted because people were scared of him. You take away that intimidation factor, what do you get? The end of the show. And you know, I kind of saw where the show was going. I made a theory earlier on about how Soldier Boy would be the one to blast Homelander. We're getting into spoiler territory. We're just going to talk about it. If you like The Boys, you've watched this at this point. So, full spoilers for the season finale, or series finale. Sorry, series finale. I thought that Soldier Boy was going to give Homelander a little taste of godhood, and he hated him so much, and then he was going to take it all away. But the penultimate episode 7, Homelander knocked out Soldier Boy and put him on ice, and that's the last we saw of Soldier Boy. But Kimiko picked up the mantle and blasted fucking Homelander. I'm gonna swear a little bit, sorry, this is The Boys. And as pathetic, as disgustingly weak and wimpy as Homelander was, and they wanted you, oh man, I wanted to see him suffer. I wanted to see the fear in his eyes, and we got that. Now, people are unhappy because they were expecting some all-out superhero brawl, heroes in the sky everywhere, the boys fighting through a group of heroes. I would say that would also be an option. But the intimacy here was very important, not only to Butcher and Homelander, but to the rest of the boys. Had it been a whole big spectacle, I don't think we would have gotten the great character moments. God, I'm so glad the Deep got what he deserved. Was it a little too fast, a little less gory than I'd like? Would I have liked to see him ripped to shreds and in pain and screaming the whole time? Absolutely. Fuck the Deep. That dude's a bitch. But he still got a satisfying conclusion. That guy was a sniveling coward to the end, a groveling little wimp. And he got put in his place, much like fucking Homelander did too. Love to see it. And okay, so like I said, spoilers. The whole season leading up to this was, in my opinion, right in the middle of the boys. You know, season 1 was the best. Season 2 was really good. Season 3 was where it got the best season. Full stop, best season. And then 4. So I'd say this season was better than the last. Swap places between 5 and 4. But I really loved the final episode. I actually watched it twice. So if you're like, oh no, you didn't, it wasn't good. I don't care. I watched it 2 times and I felt emotional. I felt attached. I felt anxiety. I felt the same feelings the second time watching it that I did the first time watching it. And then they kill Homelander, right? And you think it's over. And if you've read the comic books, you know that Butcher is really the one to be stopped at the end. And that happened. And people were like, oh, his dog died. That's not enough reason. Listen, in the comic books, when Homelander killed Terror, that was it. That was when Butcher went off the deep end. Now in the show, not only did he get rejected by Ryan, but his dog also passed away. Terror passed away. It was sad. It wasn't painful. It wasn't brutal. We didn't get to see, fortunately, we didn't have to see Terror get hurt, but he just passed away in his sleep. And you could see the heartbreak in Butcher's eyes. Carl Urban did a great job just portraying. He's like, I don't have anything left. And the saddest part of all of that is he had Huey, he had he had Kamiko to some capacity. He didn't have Ryan. Ryan had nothing to do with him, rightfully so. Butcher was a bad person. That was the whole thing. If you thought that Butcher would not end up there and do that, then you were not watching this same show. Butcher was damaged goods. He was always going to end up dying bloody. That's what he wanted. That's the only way he knew how to go out. He wasn't going to do it himself, but he needed to be put in that situation. And he put Huey in that situation, and it sucked. And it was heart-wrenching, and Huey still treated him like a brother the whole time. And then when Butcher was gone, the fucking sobbing from Huey began, and I just lost it all over again. So the emotional impact is there. Was it a little rushed to get here? I don't know. I feel like it took a while to get here. And I don't feel like, I know there were filler episodes, but I don't feel like the filler bothered me because I enjoy the characters that I enjoy. If I like a show, as long as they're not screwing the pooch and throwing everything out the window, why would I care if I got to spend more time with characters that I enjoyed? Like that episode with Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles and Misha Collins all together was fucking fun. It was great. It was filler, except for the last part, except for Bombsight has the V1. But it was worth watching. And also, you know, Firecracker, she also got, that was that episode. So like, I enjoyed the whole show. I enjoyed season 1 through 5. I'm a huge Supernatural fan, so I think that Eric Kripke does a great job with characters and writing and the understanding of the way that people react when they're hurt. People react when someone they love is hurt. And Butcher felt like he had no one left to love, no one left to fight for. So what did he do? He went and did the only thing they knew how to do. He was going to bring it all down. And he needed Huey there to stop him. And Huey knew that, and Butcher knew that. And that's what happened. And then they wrapped it up in a nice little bow. Annie and Huey have a baby. Well, she's pregnant. We hear some Billy Joel. We get Butcher's funeral. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Now, there were some parts that were a little annoying, so I'm not going to glaze it and say, oh no, it was perfect. But I am going to go up against everyone that's saying it was bad, it was bad. If you wanted the comic book ending, you suck and I don't like you. That's just if you wanted that to happen, if you wanted pain and misery and suffering for the characters that you care about, I don't like you. And I don't like your opinion. We could disagree on whether or not it was valid to get there where they got, or the reasoning and all that other stuff. But if you hated this season, why were you still watching? This was made for a more... I haven't even talked about the real world stuff. This was made for an audience who wants to watch something, shut their brain off, and have a good time. Now, this season, they wrote it 2 years ago, and they were filming the last 2 years. And all of the stuff that Homelander did, surprisingly, crazily, awfully lined it up with real life shit. You know, saying he was God. Trump made the meme of Jesus. You know, the terror camps. All this kind of stuff has a real world approximate, and it wasn't supposed to be that way. It was supposed to be lambastic. It was supposed to be crazy. It was supposed to be like, holy crap, I'm so glad we avoided this. But we didn't. And here we are. Hopefully, I can't say what I want to say. But we know how the show ended, right? Is that a prediction? I don't know. Talking about Homelander's death. It was great. You got to see him snivel, whine, cry. Then a fucking crowbar got jammed through his skull, and Butcher popped his top like a soda can. And it was glorious. So, I really enjoyed The Boys season 5. I know some of y'all didn't. I know people, oh, you're just glazing. You just are making... No, I genuinely like things that I watch. If I've been watching it for a long time, it's for a reason. It's because I like the show. I'm not going to throw it away just because not all my predictions right. Not everything I wanted to happen happened. I think they wrapped up as neatly as they could without pissing everyone off. Yes, there's going to be the losers that they pissed off. Oh, this should have been like the comic books. You suck. I don't like you. The comic books suck. Garth Ennis sucks. But The Boys show, for me, was a great ride, and I'm glad we had it. So, if you like this video, smash like. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Comments. I just said that. Become a channel member. Join the subreddit r/figurefanatics. Follow me on Instagram. Do all that stuff. Keep your head up. Stay brave. Be kind to the local LGBTQ plus community. If you're protesting, be extra super duper safe. I love y'all. I will see you next time, and bye-bye. Fuck you, Homelander, you bitch.
Stop.
Hey, just wait 1 minute. I'm watching this new Rowdy Rouse video and it's really awesome. I don't want to miss it.
It's like this chick that reviews action figures and it's really freaking cool.
Yes, I think they saw some videos and there's some really good contents out there, you know?
She reviews the ponies and stuff because you knows I love ponies.
She doesn't review ponies. It's freaking cool stuff, Toki.